Good evening and welcome to Being Manic Dave, Episode 6. In the following 3 episodes, I will be talking about my step-by-step PDF guides that I published about a year and a half ago. They're available for Amazon on Amazon.com and actually have about 30 or 40 sales. Of course, you don't really get paid much. They're 99-cent downloads available on the Kindle. And Amazon pretty much takes all your money like they do with anything you sell on there. It's one of the reasons, though they have many genius reasons of why they're like the most powerful company right now in America. But anyways, so it's only like 20-some cents royalties. But I think it's valuable information, so I want to spend time the next 3 episodes, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and talk about them and give you all the information that are in these guides. The first one is called Every Day I'm Hustling 101, and it's an official step-by-step guide. The following contains valuable instructions on how to get a job and make money to better your life. And this is regardless of your gender, age, race, education, work history, social, economical, or financial status, and no matter where you live or where you come from, even if you have a criminal or otherwise suspect background. It's called Every Day I'm Hustling 101. So have you ever been held back in life due to your gender, age, or race? Were you born into a family with bad genetics or upbringing? Did you grow up in a harsh or poor environment and neighborhood? Do you have little to no work experience? Did you fail to graduate high school or get your GED? Are you not able to find a good job or career, and is your resume lacking experience and work history? Do your interview and communication skills disable you from getting in the door to get a good job? Are you tired of being broke, busted, and disgusted? Do you have a criminal background or otherwise suspect life history, which is preventing you from getting a job and getting ahead in life? Are you tired of this and wanting to change your life for the better and do whatever it takes to get ahead and be successful? Well, in this Every Day I'm Hustling 101 guide, I'll help turn anyone into a winner overnight by giving you the steps necessary to gain a solid career or job which will help you acquire stability, growth, and money no matter who you are. Remember, you have to get your foot in the door to have a shot. Never give up thinking that you can't be a winner. Don't let others' failures stop you. Don't let others' negativity stop you. Wake up today and realize that you are the one who controls your destiny and success, and begin to realize you're going to dominate today and every other day of your life and win no matter what. Perception is everything. What people see of you is more the reality than what you think of you or what the reality actually is, because people's perceptions lead to opinions, and it is those opinions that lead to actions, whether good or bad, and these actions as well as yours will help dictate your results in life. Step number 1. Change your appearance to satisfy the masses and your potential employer. Find inexpensive clothes such as a button-down shirt, pants and tie, or dress, or other professional outfits at a local Goodwill or thrift shop, or ask your family and friends to borrow one for the interview and your job. If you need a haircut and or shave or hygiene supplies, get some from family and friends, or go to the local dollar store to get them for cheap. You want to give the impression that you are stable, clean, and of sound body and mind, and your appearance is everything in developing this perception. For instance, a very rich man could sit on the corner of the street dressed as a homeless person with dirty clothes and appearance and beg for cash, and people will not believe him to be wealthy, whereas a poor man could wear a $5,000 suit and a $3,000 watch and walk around and people would believe him to be successful and stable. Obviously, what we believe things to be and what the reality is are often two different things, and it's important to realize this so you can adjust your thinking accordingly to better understand the psychology of people and how they perceive things. Step 2. Change the way you talk and communicate with others and your attitude and tone when you do so. Remember, when you apply for a job and interview, you want to sound professional. This means that you should talk clearly and properly with no slang or words that are inappropriate or negative. If you're unclear as to what is appropriate or not, think about how you would talk to an elder or someone you respect, and think about how others perceive the words and attitude and tone you give them when you talk to them. Remember, no one wants to work or be around somebody who talks trashy or has a bad attitude or is constantly negative all the time. You should be learning new things every day and reading, whether online or books, to constantly evolve your vocabulary and communication skills. The more you know, the better suited you will be for life, and the more educated you sound, the better. People will believe you to be anything you want if you just work to give them that impression, and you need to impress them to get the job. They say smart people can be chameleons. They are smart enough to know things and how to communicate their knowledge of those ideas to people from any background. They could be playing golf at a local country club with rich people, talking business and politics, and get along well with them, and get respect from them, and convince them that they are like them, while at the same time walking into a low-income neighborhood and talking to people about sports and entertainment, and convince them that they are like them as well. In other words, they can easily adapt to any situation on the fly by thinking quickly on their feet to survive and thrive in any situation, no matter what the circumstances are. This is exactly what you need to do. Step 3. Now you need to change the way you act with and towards others. This means you need to walk tall with good posture and your shoulders up. This means you need to be polite and look others in the eye when you talk to them, and shake their hand when necessary, and tell them polite words like thank you and you're welcome. If you carry yourself with dignity and pride and show confidence, not arrogance, then others will pick up on your positive, strong vibes and feel the way you are and feed off of it. Instead of being negative, you should work on being positive. You should be thinking more before you talk and act, and remember to act and treat others like you want to be treated, and this will get you more out of others in the long run. You need to give something or bring something to the table when being offered employment, as they need to see that you are not going to be a detriment to the company by displaying inappropriate actions, and our actions definitely speak louder than words, so show them great actions to achieve great results. Step 4. Change yourself internally. Change your mental and physical approach to life. First, you should try to get 6 to 8 solid hours of sleep every day. Second, you should try to eat right, and being poor usually means this is hard to do, as good healthy food is usually more expensive. Next, you should try to keep your daily stress and anxiety to a minimum. Exercise is good, as well as even 30 minutes a day to meditate or just for quiet time, to gather your thoughts for the day and to focus on your upcoming daily, weekly, monthly, yearly goals to help get you closer to your dreams. So you need to exercise mentally and physically to be fit for the world when you go out. You may want to try to read self-help or motivational books, or watch and listen to motivational speakers, or make daily goals to improve yourself so you can become a better person. When you do this, people will take notice, and this will play a factor in everything. Remember the 7 P's. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance. Everyone must be proactive and do all they can to help themselves to stay employed, said Stephen Covey. Step 5. Now it is time to get your resume, connections, aka work references, together to start your plan of attack on getting a great job so you can get paid. So one of the 2 things is going to happen. The first, you already have solid work references and history, and you're 1 step ahead of the game if you do. Or you have little to no work history and little to no work references. If you do not have solid work references, then you need to think outside the box to achieve the result you desire, which is get the job. And remember, you need to do whatever it takes within reason to get in the door. You should gather 2 to 3 good friends or family members, even local neighbors, because the potential job you're wanting will more than likely want to call your work references to verify your work history. So you need to make sure you have people lined up who can take the call and give you a great review that is accurate to the dates and information you list on the resume about that particular job you had worked. So what I'm saying is you either have to have decent or good work references or you don't. If you don't, then you need to ask your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, good friends, people you trust, somebody to give you a great review, and you may even want to compensate them to do so. Employers are just concerned with getting a hold of your work references and hearing them say great things about you on the phone. Most of them are not going to cross all the T's and dot all the I's and do a detailed investigation as to whether your work references are legit or not. So rather than have them call former employers who may give them a negative review about you, or call nobody if you have no work history, why not give them great references with great reviews so you can get the job? This really works. Important, remember, you're trying to get a job which hopefully will last a long time. So we're talking about a lot of money here and income here that you can accumulate over time. So this is not a joke or a laughing matter. Your life and career and happiness is literally riding on this. For example, say your friend has to be your former manager at Walmart because when you worked at the job you messed up for one reason or another, and now they won't give you a great review that you need to coach your friend on what to say. So you need to review job calls and dates and months that you worked there, what your job description was, and what you did on a daily basis. Your potential job employer needs to hear that you're a stable worker who gets the job done and excels at everything you do. If they call a few of your references and hear this, even if it's not true, they'll be inclined to give you the job. Remember, you need to get your foot in the door to have a shot in life. If no one will give you a shot, you will become defeated and fail in life. So you need to be proactive and aggressive in having a plan of attack when it comes to things like getting a job so you can earn income to pay your bills and hopefully acquire wealth someday. Do you honestly think that 6 months to 1 or a couple years down the road, if you're crushing your job, your employer is going to ever think about your resume or work references or whether you attended college or even finished high school? They're not going to care about what you did or didn't do because they'll be more concerned about running a profitable company or business and your value to the business. The answer is 98% of the time they won't care. So why not play your chances, because the risk versus reward is easily evident here. Step 6. Now, you want to know, what do you do if you have a criminal background, including past felonies or misdemeanors that you may have gotten in your life? A lot of felons feel like they're defeated from start and that whatever they did will be judged forever and they will never have any shot in life. Now, even if you have something like a DUI or possession of marijuana when you were in college, you need to be aware that all of this could affect your potential employment. So you need to understand the difference between big corporate companies like Walmart, who do background checks and drug screens, compared to smaller mom and pop companies. They do exist, and how these smaller companies go about getting employees. You see, most small businesses don't have the time or money to spend to do a background check, or even Google your name online, which alone can give people lots of good or bad information on you, especially if you're highly active with social media outlets like Facebook and Twitter. I encourage you to watch what you write on those sites, as they can remain online there forever. So make sure you don't waste your time applying to be a bank teller if you have theft on your record, or don't waste your time becoming a police officer if you have a drug record. You need to gear your job prospects based around all the variables, not just if you would like to work the job or not, or how well the pay is or isn't. So when you apply for jobs, if you have a shady background, remember it's up to you whether you disclose the past, and most businesses will never do a background check, so you might want to decide on leaving the past out of the equation when you apply for the job in hopes of getting hired and then working and having your performance evaluated based on your skills and work level rather than your past. Step 7. Now you have to figure out which job you would like to do or where you want to try to make money. Well, the first thing I find that helps is to try to do something you actually like. For instance, if you like sales and selling stuff for profit or commission, then you should try to stick to sales. But if you like working with your hands, then maybe you should try plumbing or heating or air conditioning work. You should try doing something you like, because once you get in the door, your ability and skills and motivation to do well will be highest if you do stuff that interests you. Sometimes you just have to get a job, period, no matter what it is, to pay the bills. And in that case, just apply for places locally that you think would hire you if you present them with the right appearance, communication skills, attitude, resume, and work references that they desire for the applicant. There are great websites to find these jobs in your area, like Craigslist, Career Builder, Monster.com. Search the different categories and spend the time doing your research. Google the business and read all about them online and any reviews that they may have or BBB rating, etc. You can use this information as ammunition in the interview so you can impress the interviewer with your knowledge of the company and desire to better the company with your skills. Step 8. It is time to put your resume together. You may feel that you should list things on your resume as accurate to reality as possible, and even though your reality is bleak, you still may feel you should show your potential employers the same reality. Doing so will result in failure, so you need to make your resume appear attractive to potential employers, so you need to make it worth the paper you printed on. So let's say you never graduated high school or even got your GED. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think every employer in the world is going to call your former high school to see if you really graduated there? I mean, unless you want to become a state or federal worker, say like a police officer, where they're going to go through your background very seriously, oftentimes requiring even a fingerprint background clearance. So that might not be the best place to get a job given your situation. So maybe you should just give the impression that you graduated high school. Once you get your foot in the door, remember, that's what you need to do to win. Then you can do a great job at your work, and your employer will not care if you graduated or not, because he will be more concerned with your current performance on the job over your past, which really has no bearing on the job. So you're going to show them what a solid perception they are going to have of you in regards to your education and work history. You're going to make sure you connect your work history together so there are no gaps. You're going to make sure your references, whether legit or your family and friends being the references, are in order, so when you submit your resume to your potential employer, you are ready for the job. Step 9. Now you have your appearance changed both inward and outward. You have your work references lined up and your resume ready to go. Now you need to interview to get the job. First off, when a potential employer calls you back, make sure you're prepared for any questions or dates or times and locations that you need to be at for an interview, so it's probably a good idea to have something to write with. Now you're going to give strong positive answers both on the phone and in person to get the job. You need to have confidence, and you should have studied your resume so you're prepared to answer any questions, and so you are prepared to explain in detail what you have done at previous jobs or schooling, and how you will help the employer do the job to maximize their dollar so they're happy and pay and treat you well. There are standard questions that pretty much every interviewer asks. Like, why are you applying here today? Tell me about your last job. Why did you leave your last job? What skills or attributes do you have to bring to the table to help you do your job well? Do you drive or have a ride to work? What hours are you available to work? These are common questions that you should be prepared for and even practice answering before you go to the interview. Some people like to look in the mirror at themselves when they practice to gain confidence necessary to ace the interview. Remember to be polite and talk appropriately, and back your resume up with confidence about how you will crush the job. Remember to ask when you will hear back from them, and tell them that you're really interested in the job and you can't wait to start. Sound in the affirmative and assume as if you already got the job without being too cocky. Then remember to shake hands and thank them for their time. They may call your work references, but you'll be satisfied to know you have a solid work references and that these people will back you up, and between that and your great interview, this will highly increase the chance you beat others out and get the job. Once you do get the job, it's up to you to shine and work hard and be motivated to do well so you can back up your past and resume and really show them you are worth it. Do these things and you will get the job, no matter whom you are or where you come from, no matter how many other candidates you're up against. Step 10. Now just sit back and wait for the call that you got the job, knowing you were prepared no matter what came at you. Once you get the job, you need to keep it. Doing this for work for a job and then only doing all that work to get the job for only 2 weeks is not worth it. You need to have a solid long-term outlook and plan, and the sooner you start working and getting paid, no matter what amount you make, the sooner you can save up money or spend it on things you need. The sooner you start to do this, the sooner you will achieve the independence and freedom you truly desire. That is Everyday I'm Hustling 101. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. This is Being Manic Dave, episode 6. Coming up next episode, next time, we will have Penny Pinching 101. Following episode after that, we will have Street Smarts 101. Again, you can download any of these in PDF format on Amazon. Just type in my pen name, Good Shaw. That's GOOD space SHAW, or just download it on any of the platforms. Type in Being Manic Dave on podcast and YouTube. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Who the fuck you think you're fucking with? I'm the fucking boss. 745, white on white, that's fucking Ross. I cut them wide, I cut them long, I cut them fat. I keep them coming back, we keep them coming back. I'm in the distribution, I'm like Atlantic. I got the motherfuckers flying across the Atlantic. I know Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega. He owe me 100 favors. I ain't paying